Beach nourishment is basically bringing in sand to augment the beaches to help counteract some of those other losses of sand that we see in our system from our watersheds and our seawalls. If it was up to me, this project would not be moving forward the way that it is. Smaller, opportunistic sand more often would be a much preferred, something that mimics nature would be better, something that's not going to bury the reefs or the sandbars, in too much sand and diminish our surfing resources.
To put it into perspective, the Regional Beach Sand Replenishment Project, RBSP2, that happened in, I think it was 2012, throughout San Diego County, put a certain volume of sand on all of the beaches. That's just to kind of put it in perspective, because the Army Corps of Engineers project is talking about putting on 5 to 10 times the amount of sand that the Regional Sand Beach Replenishment Project put on. So we're talking about a huge increase in the volume of sand that they're putting on the beaches, way more than is naturally placed on the beaches through natural sources of sand. And so we were very concerned about that, because it's really never been done around here before.
How could that affect surfing today?
It could destroy it entirely. It could turn all the reef breaks into beach breaks. And reef breaks are a rare and important resource to surfers. So a reef break is unique because you need the reef to have the wave form properly. Beach breaks kind of move around depending on how the sandbars form, and they tend to be closer into shore, shallower, not as high of a quality of wave. The Army Corps of Engineers did a little whitewashing on that too, because I think in some parts of the report they're like, well, reef breaks will be converted to beach breaks and they'll be fine. It's like, no, maybe for beginner surfers that are just learning, that don't really need the high quality wave, it would be fine. But people live here and they surf all their lives and they're passionate and good surfers and they want their good quality reef breaks.
Well, surfing is a very key concern. We have a very large constituent of surfers here, and we even have one on the city council, so Mike Nichols on the city council. Part of the deliberations is an avid surfer, but it was a significant concern to us. We want to have beaches, so we don't want to go the route of no sand replenishment, because that's where we'll ultimately get. But we also appreciate the surf and the surfing capabilities in the region, particularly of the very valued reefs like tabletops.
There really we're after protection for the homes and creating beach width, as opposed to looking at the other important resources like biological diversity and surfing resources. So this is what we're known for. This is why people pay top dollar to live here and why we're a tourist destination, and we have some of the best waves in the county, and I don't think they want to be responsible for ruining them.
It's not only protecting private property, it's protecting public resources too. So as you're aware, we have 4 beach access points ourselves. We have 3 sets of stairs and a ramp at Pillbox. If we don't protect those infrastructure assets, they may go away as well. And so if you have good surf but no way to get there, I'm not sure how valuable that is either, because we can't afford to reconstruct these public assets. The other thing I would say about it is sand is not permanent. The sand's going to go eventually, so even if there are some near-term surfing impacts, which we would all seriously regret, they will potentially go away because the sand's going to move to other places. And that's why we have that replenishment cycle. And the good thing about our project, it's actually the first shoreline project in the nation that the Army Corps has done, which includes adaptive measures, which means, so the project's going to get deployed. After deployment, they're going to monitor it for at least 2 years and determine any measurable impacts, including to surfing. And that means when a replenishment cycle comes up, which is supposed to be in 10 years in our project, we will change how the next replenishment cycle occurs to see if we, to presumably reduce the impacts that the project is causing.
I think a lot of the value of living in these communities is in the surfing resources, and I don't think that was taken into consideration either by the Army Corps of Engineers. Yes, you'd have wider beaches for people to sit on, but they didn't take into effect at all the economic, I think serious economic effect that would occur through the loss of surf breaks. People come here to surf, people move here, buy houses here to surf, and that is an important economic resource as well.